Welcome to the Small Business Show. My name is Swire from Garuda Promo. Today we have our guest is Jay Burgess from P3 Cost Analysts. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Swire. Appreciate it.
I'm glad that we're gonna have you on the show. We're talking about people's favorite subject these days is saving money, saving costs for your business.
Yeah.
Can you please tell the viewer a little bit about what you do and your role as a cost and a saving analysis?
Yeah. Well, again, my name is Jay Burgess. I work with P3 Cost Analysts. I'm a cost reduction specialist. And literally, it's as simple as we help businesses save money by reducing their overhead expenses.
Okay. And so what is the concept? Like what industry, or do I have to make a lot of money or have a lot of bills to be saving money? So like how do you help client? Because I'm sure that everyone loves to save money, but how would you go in and help them?
Great question. Well, Swire, it usually varies depending on the company and the industry we work with. In general, we do a full review of all your operating expenses, such as your utility, phone, card processing, property tax, linen, and waste expenses, just to name a few. With that said, our goal is always to look at what you're spending and protect you from any of those errors and overcharges that the vendor might be passing on to you. And literally, it simply just starts with receiving a copy of your invoices.
Okay.
Once we get your invoices, then we can start the auditing process, and it's that simple.
So like so when a business work with you, they will show you the invoices that they paid to their vendors, right?
Correct.
And then you look, how do you analyze it? Do you compare with the data that you have and saying maybe in your area, for example, like your utility bills, these are the norms that should be in your industry, but this is what you're paying, and the balance, right?
Yeah, exactly. So our cost analysts, they have about together over 250 years of experience. Together with that experience, they've been in the industry before. So we have people from the linen industry, people from the card processing industry, the utility industry, and what they understand how the bill coding is supposed to be on a particular invoice. Something that you and I may not know. Well, I didn't know until I got into this industry. But usually, what happens is what we find out is that 9 out of 10 businesses are overspending 18% per month on any of those overhead expenses. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and once that happens, and generally what happens actually is they usually just pay those bills based on budget, trend, and history. I've done that before when I was in school. I would pay my tuition bill or my insurance bill or anything like that just by it's this. It's $100. I'm supposed to pay $100 a month. If it goes up $10 or if it goes down $90, if it goes down 90, I'm excited. If it goes up, I call them and say, hey, what's going on? But again, like, our analyst knows that, what you're supposed to be spending, particularly based on your company size, your industry, what advantages do you have? What tax advantages do you have? So there's a lot of variables that goes into why and how a vendor pays you, and we help uncover that.
Wow, that's interesting. So, but are you guys going to just go in and analyze and change all the vendors? Like, what if I like the vendor that I'm working with and I kind of attach to him and I don't want to switch?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Again, we get that question asked to us a lot. Our clients always tells us that if they have a good relationship with their vendor or they like their sales rep, right?
Yeah.
and they don't want to affect that. And you know what? That's okay. The great thing about our service wire is that we work within the existing vendor to find ways where saving opportunities exist. So our goal, again, is to make sure that our clients are paying a fair market rate while still receiving the best service possible.
That's very interesting. Okay, would you be able to share a couple of examples, in different industry client of yours that you're able to go in and help them save costs?
Yeah, we work with hundreds of small, medium-sized, big businesses, city governments, and who are having budget and cash flow problems. They're looking to save money or find money to grow their business. So we understand these challenges here at P3 Cost Analysts, and we actually have the best practices and insights to help them. So let me give you an example. We are working with a CFO of a local brewery in a very similar situation, looking to save money, having some cash flow problems. So he was actually referred to us. We had a quick meeting about his expenses, had my team look over his invoices, and were able to save him ultimately $200, $200,000
Wow.
in cash, and was able to get that back into his bottom line. So now that CFO is a hero at his company. He's saving jobs. He's increasing revenue. Again, look, our economy is tough, and it will get tougher, but it doesn't have to ruin your company. I always joke to my clients and to the people I work with is that, you know what, I'm not Stan Lee, but I make superheroes too.
That's fun. So would you help them negotiate, the savings, or how does that work? If you identify, for example, certain things that they might be overspending, or they could, utilize the funds better, like what would be the recommendation looks like?
Yeah, so that recommendation usually varies, again, depending on the client, on their industry, and what invoices and what expense we're looking at. But what generally happens is that once we get the invoice and we have uncovered some saving opportunities, before we go ahead, our clients must give us a go or no go before we actually implement any of those savings and findings. So it's a structure, it's a process. Nothing happens without our clients go ahead. So, for example, we've had clients that we've received. We gave them a recommendation, and they said no. But later on came back to us and allowed us to work with them. So, it just really depending on where and where the client is at. And we're ready to work at moments notice. Okay.
How often would you say a business should run the analyst? Because, why I have this question is recently, I noticed our internet at work, it's slowing down. So, we try to reset and what you normally do, to troubleshoot it. But then, we decided to call our provider, and then they actually has a newer model of modem available. But then they didn't reach out to us, and we had to find out, and we pay the same fee, right? But then we're not utilizing the whole capacity of what the service will be. So how often should they run the report? Because obviously people like to pay bills, and then company will let you pay your bills happily. But then if you don't point out things that might have been improved, or maybe they have a discount, but if you don't let them know, they are not going to pass on that discount, some of them. So how often should they run it?
Well, that's a really good question. I think that what we do here at again P3 is that our goal is to make sure that your service the service that you're getting from your vendor is as what you expect, right? So the goal is you want to make sure that you run that report probably on a monthly basis, right? Because the goal is to make sure that, hey, you know what, if you are paying for, say, one terabyte of streaming, right? But it's only being clocked at 100 megabytes, or 100 megabytes. Then what are you paying for? So our analyst goes in, we'll also print those reports for you, figure out what that difference is, and go back to the vendor and say, hey, hold on, Mr. Vendor, right? Or Miss Vendor. you're charging my client this X amount of money, but you're only giving them this amount of bandwidth for the whole month. There is an overcharge here, and we request politely for us to get that money back. So generally, that's how it would work. Whether it's the internet, whether it's your utility, whether it's your phone bill. For example, we had clients who was being charged for 100 phone lines, but we're only using 3.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So again, like there's, excuse me, it's like a leak, right? You don't know how bad a leak, how bad of a leak you have until your whole basement is flooded, right? And by then that's too late. Our goal again is to go in there, look for the leaks in your invoices and stop it from leaking. And you know what? We protect our clients for 60 months. So they're protected with us under our agreement and our contract for 60 months. So it's I wanted to just add that if we do find any savings, we do share in those savings 50-50. So if we were able to save that company $2 on their internet bill, we will receive $1. Isn't that fair?
Yeah, so they're paying it anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So they're getting $1 back, and we're getting $1 back for our hard work that we're doing, and they get the time and the knowledge to know that they're not worrying about anything else.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you a tough question, and then I think sometimes we do see that. So when we think about cost savings, cost reduction, we in my mind sometimes I'll think about we cutting a lot of the things that obviously some of them we don't need, but some of them we could do things better, but then we're cutting it. So it could be the hospitality industry, they're cutting staff, they're cutting the napkins they have available. How do you balance the cost saving aspect of it to the level of service or level of qualities that their customer expect to have? Like, how do you help your clients balance everything?
Yeah, you know what? That's again another great question, Swire. You're on a roll today, man. But look, I think most firms, most companies are already doing a good job of balancing customer service, product quality, and service in-house. But to be honest, I think that where our company can help businesses find further balance is by working with us. Our expertise is expense reduction. We help our clients achieve 3 things: time, knowledge, and security. Right? We don't want to see companies laying people off or reducing the quality of their products just to save money, right? So we save our clients time and get them away from those things that are slowing their business down, that are removing them from increasing their bottom line, and that is extremely valuable to me, saving you time. Right. And then you have the security and the knowledge that we pass on to you because we do it for, again, a consistent amount of time. Excuse me. So that allows you to know that you're going to have the best deal throughout our engagement period. And I think that's extremely valuable, right? You're not reducing the product quality, and you're not letting people go. You know what I mean? Especially in a tough time like this where every kind of dollar matters, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to put your contact information here. How would you advise for viewers who are listening out there who are intrigued by the concept, but didn't know where to start? Like, what should they do? Like, how much bill do I need to be able to benefit from to talk to an analyst like yourself? Or should they reach out to you anyway? And what would you suggest?
I would say I would just have them reach out to me either way. Here's the thing, right? We don't know what's a problem until we look at it, right? We had a conversation prior, and we talked about going to the mechanic, right? Most people don't want to go to the mechanic because they're afraid that, I hear this sound in my car, and I know if I take it to the mechanic, they're going to charge me an arm, a leg, and maybe even a pinky finger. But you know, we don't work that way. We work, hey, you know what? Send us your invoice, meet with us, hear what we have to say. Let us look at your invoice. Again, if we do find something, you do have the final say of saying, hey, wait, you know what? I'm not really ready for this, but you know what? I'm going to keep your number and we're going to contact you in the future. Again, you know, you want to have someone look at your invoices to see if you have money available, right? You want to grow, you want to hire new employees, you want to save money. That's why, you know, regardless of your business size, regardless of where you're at, what industry you're in, just contact me, and you know, we'll get the ball rolling for you.
All right, thank you so much, Jay. You know, this is a timely discussion, and I'm glad that you're able to provide a lot of cost savings and expense reduction strategy to the viewers. So thanks again for coming on today.
Thank you, Swire, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right.